Today on Rappler, monsoon rain triggers widespread floods in Olongapo City and Subic.
So ang arraignment ngayon, ang in-enter na plea ni RTC judge natin ay not guilty si Mrs. Napoles sa charge ng serious illegal detention.
Janet Napoles is arraigned for serious illegal detention. And a police report shows MNLF members from Basilan tried to surrender in the early days of the standoff. Hello, I'm Ayi Makaraig, sitting in for Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. A state of calamity is declared in Olongapo Monday as monsoon rain brings widespread floods to the city and neighboring Subic. Heavy rain triggers landslides, killing 17 people in different parts of Zambales province. Assistant Civil Defense Director Nigel Lontok says a 67-year-old woman drowned when her home was submerged by a flood in Olongapo. Local publications Subic Bay News and Subic Times also post photos of flooded streets in the city. Eyewitnesses say local officials put up ropes across flooded streets to prevent people from being swept away by strong currents. In a Facebook post, Olongapo City Councilor Winnie Ortiz says the flooding in the city is the worst they have seen in history. Subic Times also says Mayor Rolen Paulino is coordinating with the U.S. Navy currently in Subic for joint Philippine-U.S. military exercises to help in rescue and relief in Olongapo. In Subic, 6 are reported killed in landslides. Subic Mayor Jefferson Konghun says 4 rivers that passed through Subic were heavily silted and had overflowed, causing the floods. Thousands of families are evacuated from the towns of Hermosa, Abukay, and Dinalupihan in Bataan as floodwaters reach up to 3 feet high. More than 19,000 people or over 4,000 families are affected, with 5 evacuation centers opened for them. Non-stop rain overnight again flooded the streets of Metro Manila and neighboring provinces on Monday. Flooding incidents were reported on the streets of Quezon City, Caloocan, Makati, Manila, and Parañaque. State Weather Bureau Pag-asa says the southwest monsoon will continue to affect large parts of Luzon on Tuesday. Cloudy skies with moderate to occasionally heavy rains and thunderstorms are expected in Metro Manila, Central Luzon, Calabarzon, and the provinces of Pangasinan and La Union. Floodwater rises in Bataan, submerging several barangays and rendering some roads impassable. Natasha Gutierrez files this video blog.
Monsoon rains here in Dinalupihan, Bataan have been relentless for 3 days now, causing massive flooding to at least 3 barangays. Here at San Ramon Dinalupihan National Road, the waters are fast moving and knee-length, making it impassable to light vehicles. This is the main entry road between Olongapo City and Dinalupihan. Olongapo City and neighboring Zambales have been declared under a state of calamity, with local government officials there calling it the worst flooding it has ever seen. Further down, in Dinalupihan, as you enter, waters have reached chest level, causing residents to evacuate. About 20,000 families have been affected throughout the province of Bataan. Majority of them come from Hermosa town, which is past Dinalupihan. 23 barangays there are submerged. In Abukay, another town nearby, 8 more barangays are flooded. Residents say they often experience flooding here, every year actually, but this year the levels are particularly surprising. As you can see over here to my left, some of these small houses and some stores, waters have already entered them. There are no residents or people inside. They have all been evacuated. And it is nighttime now, so you cannot see, but further down, there are only roofs that are visible, which means the complete structures and buildings are actually fully submerged. Natasha Gutierrez, Rappler, Bataan.
2 non-governmental organizations allegedly set up by Janet Lim Napoles got 95 million pesos from the Malampaya Fund in just 1 day. Tanglaw sa Magsasaka Foundation Incorporated and Saganang Buhay sa Atin Foundation Incorporated got 11 checks from the Department of Agrarian Reform or DAR on December 23, 2009, amounting to 52.5 million pesos and 42.5 million pesos. Records show 42 checks with a total amount of 377.5 million pesos were signed by then DAR Acting Finance Chief Teresita Panlilio. The money formed part of the 900 million peso Malampaya Fund allocation to DAR intended to help farmers affected by successive typhoons. In an anomalous setup, the money went directly to the NGOs following a memorandum of agreement signed by then DAR Undersecretary for Finance and Administration Narciso Nieto and the supposed local government units that were recipients of the funds. For more than 2 years, the alleged misuse of the 900 million peso Malampaya Fund channeled to DAR remained under the radar. But in March 2012, current DAR Chief Virgilio de los Reyes directed officers to validate complaints after his office received letters from local government officials who said they did not get funds from the department. Seeing a pattern in the reports from the field, de los Reyes ordered an internal audit in late 2012. In the Malampaya Fund, about 10 Napoles-linked NGOs were involved in channeling the money. Among the NGOs, Gintong Pangkabuhayan Foundation Incorporated and Karangyaan para sa Magbubukid Foundation Incorporated got the largest amount at 82.5 million pesos each, followed by Saganang Buhay sa Atin Foundation Incorporated with 80 million pesos and Ginintuang Alay sa Magsasaka Foundation Incorporated with 77.5 million pesos. Alleged pork barrel scam queen Janet Napoles faces a Makati court Monday for arraignment in her serious illegal detention case. But as Bea Cupin tells us, she refuses to enter a plea.
Under the protection of over 100 government security men, Janet Lim Napoles steps out into the public eye for the first time after surrendering. The alleged brains behind the pork barrel scam, Napoles left her detention facility in Laguna to attend her arraignment before a Makati court. Napoles faces serious illegal detention charges along with her brother Rodneil Lim. Handcuffed, wearing a bulletproof vest and a helmet, she arrives at the sala of Judge Elmo Alameda. Napoles is silent during her arraignment. She does not enter a plea.
Sa Rule 116 ng Rules of Court, kung ang akusado ay ayaw mag-enter ng plea ng guilty or not guilty, ang korte mismo ang magsasabi ng not guilty plea. So ang arraignment ngayon, ang in-enter na plea ni RTC judge natin ay not guilty si Mrs. Napoles sa charge ng serious illegal detention.
After a series of motions from her camp, Napoles is finally arraigned. 30 minutes after entering the judge's sala, she is whisked back to Laguna. Her lawyers say they want future hearings to be conducted in Laguna. They claim the route to Makati is too dangerous. The case involves very powerful people whom her lawyers say would become better off if Janet is silenced, with the filing of plunder charges before the ombudsman.
Versus one judge going to the fort and a whole convoy of security, CIDG. Naintindihan naman ni judge at sabi niya, sa susunod na hearing mag-file ng motion na i-address sa Supreme Court ang Mrs. Napoles para palitan yung venue.
On Friday, September 27, Judge Alameda will hear Napoles' motion for bail.
At sinabi ng judge kung totoo nga na ready ang prosecution, dapat ibigay na nila yung listahan ng kanilang mga witnesses. 8 daw ang witnesses nila versus yung 17 namin na witnesses nila.
Convoys, bulletproof vests, and media frenzies. All eyes are still on the pork barrel queen, the woman who triggered the nation's collective anger. Watchdogs say they're ready for the long haul. Bea Cupin, Rappler, Manila.
The former chief of staff of Senator Juan Ponce Enrile says she was betrayed by the senator's camp. Gigi Reyes was reported to have signed endorsement letters for Napoles-linked NGOs now tagged in the multi-billion peso scam. Reyes is among the 38 individuals charged in the controversy. In a Facebook post Saturday, Reyes writes, "The worst blow has just been dealt upon me. Nothing can be worse than this kind of travesty and betrayal." Reyes resigned in January after the Senate fund scandal involving Enrile. She says a certain lawyer, Enrique de la Cruz, told media Enrile did not authorize her to sign pork barrel documents for NGOs on his behalf. She says de la Cruz also said Enrile's office was investigating her and that she, not the senator, will be held liable. On Monday, Enrile responds to Reyes' statement.
I'm not asked to betray any of my people. I've never been known for that. I will not discuss my case, if you don't mind.
Okay, sir. Salamat, sir.
You wait until I present, I'll face the music in the courtroom.
Police interrogation of Moro National Liberation Front fighters in government custody shows they repeatedly tried to surrender in the early stages of the standoff, but attempts to contact government officials failed. According to a police report released Sunday, the Yakan group tried to state its opposition to the actions of MNLF Commander Javier Malik. Region 9 Police spokesman Chief Inspector Ariel Huesca tells Rappler this was the result of police interrogation of MNLF fighters who surrendered. Rappler earlier reported about 70 to 80 MNLF members, mostly from the Yakan tribe based in Basilan, surrendered in Santa Barbara on September 12. They waited the entire night for their surrender to be processed by the Crisis Management Committee, but the committee later denied reports of the surrender. Interior Secretary Mar Rojas also denied a surrender took place, but Rappler stands by its story. According to the police report, those who surrendered admitted they initially engaged government troops before later deciding to surrender. The Justice Department prepares rebellion charges against MNLF founder Nur Miswari over the violent standoff between government troops and rebels in Zamboanga City. Regional State Prosecutor Peter Medalla says the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group has witnesses who can testify against Miswari. It's not the first time Miswari was involved in rebellion charges. He faced the same charge in 2001 after his supporters launched a deadly attack against a police station in Sulu. President Benigno Aquino says many of the MNLF fighters who surrendered claimed they were misled. He says Miswari cannot claim the government has been ignoring him, adding several plebiscites were held for provinces to decide whether or not they want the autonomous region.
Si Miswari is supposed to have said he wants another plebiscite and he wants a provisional government. No? Yung plebiscite, we've had two. One during my mother's term and the other one in 2001 on which provinces want to join the armed, no, or the autonomous region. In both instances, there are a total of 5 who have opted to join, and the rest, his so-called 13, the 8 have refused to join. No. So, paano natin babalikan yun? Will a third plebiscite change that condition? No. If the end point for him to be satisfied is to get all 13 under a regional government of which he will head, how can I force that on anybody?
The MNLF says it will file counter charges against the Philippine government over the Zamboanga crisis. On Monday, the MNLF's Absalom Cerveza says Miswari's group will also sue the government for damages in the conflict. Miswari's lawyer in Manila, Rexy Bugaring, says the group will sue the government using the laws of the Bangsamoro Republic, whose independence Miswari declared in August. The Aquino administration refuses to recognize this, saying there is only one government. MNLF spokesperson Emmanuel Fontanilla says the government's move to file charges against Miswari is not productive. He adds the government is pushing the other party to the extreme. If the government will not allow the MNLF to play in the political arena, what will be the alternative now? The Zamboanga conflict has dragged on for 2 weeks now, killing over 100 people and displacing 100,000 others. At least 1,800 families leave their villages in Midsayap, North Cotabato, while 15 civilians remain trapped after gun battles between government troops and members of the breakaway Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters, or BIFF. The BIFF attacked 3 barangays in Midsayap early Monday morning. Colonel Dixon Hermoso of the 6th Infantry Division says at least 1 member of government security forces was reported dead. Hermoso says civilians also saw 4 BIFF members killed. BIFF spokesman Abu Misri Mama claims responsibility for the attack, saying they already warned the government and residents about it. Let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 5, German Chancellor Angela Merkel gets a landslide victory in the polls for guiding Europe's top economy unharmed through the debt crisis. Voters kick her pro-business junior partner, the Free Democrats, out of parliament for the first time since their founding after World War II. Merkel's victory means she nearly became the only chancellor to win an absolute majority since Konrad Adenauer 56 years ago. At number 6, Kenyan troops corner Somali militants holding hostages inside a Nairobi shopping mall in a terrifying siege that left at least 69 people dead. Witnesses recount scenes of horror as masked gunmen toss grenades and spray automatic gunfire in the September 21 attack. And at number 8, video game Grand Theft Auto 5 rakes in more than $1 billion in a record-shattering first 3 days on the streets. Take-Two Interactive Software says the blistering pace of the game's sales is the fastest for any entertainment property, including video games and feature films. Play in Grand Theft Auto games has included simulated sex with prostitutes and drunken driving. Reviewers say the latest version has more of the same, along with profanity-packed dialogue. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. Cult crime show Breaking Bad wins the Best Drama Award at the 65th Primetime Emmy Awards in Los Angeles. It was a success for the critically acclaimed show, which airs its series finale next week after 5 seasons. Breaking Bad has been nominated for the top prize 3 times before. There was disappointment for political drama House of Cards, which aimed to become the first online-only series to win in major categories, but only took home a prize for Best Directing for David Fincher. Rappler kicks off Social Good Summit 2013 with a conference in Manila. Experts, government officials, and volunteers come together to discuss disaster risk reduction and preparedness. Carol Romoran reports.
And hopefully by next year, we will all come together again and say, we helped prevent the loss of life.
Disasters are a fact of life in the Philippines, taking lives and destroying property every year. This year's Social Good Summit focused on how to mitigate the effects of disasters. United Nations Country Director for the Philippines, Toshihiro Tanaka, says sharing helped Japan through one of its worst disasters, the Fukushima nuclear power plant meltdown. Live from Qatar, digital humanitarians Patrick Meyer talks about crowdsourcing information during disasters.
Access to information is equally important as access to food, to water, to shelter, and so on.
Rappler CEO Maria Ressa says mapping social networks helped track down terrorists. In times of crisis, she says the internet shows how people tend to form information hubs.
What is social media? It's just your physical social network on steroids, right? You just take your family and friends and then you get rid of boundaries of time and space, and that's social media. So
Google product manager Andrew McGlinchey says his company's mission is to work with authoritative agencies to make critical information more accessible during disasters. Climate Change Commission Secretary Lucille Sering says maps can help mitigate the problem, predict risks.
I hope I didn't scare you, but I just wanted to let you know that there's really hope for our country.
The afternoon was for panel discussions and the entertaining yet very informative presentation of Albay Governor Joey Salceda about the constant hazard under his jurisdiction.
Hazard! Di ko naman mapaalis si Mayon. Ang hazard nagiging risk pag alam ng tao.
The event culminates with the launching of Project Agos, Rappler's initiative that brings together the public and private sectors to improve disaster risk reduction strategies.
Think of Project Agos as a reservoir of continuing government efforts, private sector endeavors, but They are enhanced by social media, by big data, in other words, by you, the people.
It's basically a platform that gathers and maps information during disasters through texts, tweets, and posts on social media through a unified hashtag and a number that you can text for free. In 2 to 6 months, Rappler and its partners aim to have Project Agos up and running.
The Manila Social Good Summit ended with a performance from Up Dharma Down and a call to action, urging everyone to volunteer and in their own little way, become a hero. Carol Ramoran, Rappler, Manila.
Every story on Rappler has a mood meter which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. Click how you feel and your vote comes down to the mood navigator in the middle of the front page, which crowdsources the mood of the day. It also gives you the top 10 stories that got the most clicks. Today we have this feature story right here in green. Choirs around the world take on Filipino classics, a refreshing story. It has 52% of readers feeling inspired, 39% happy, but a lot of the stories are still in red. Here from the weekend, the anniversary of the martial law declaration, we have Fast Facts, the Marcos cabinet, 56% angry, 26% amused. The Napoles stories still have our readers angry, but the big circle here is one of the most popular stories now on Rappler. UP student plagiarizes prize-winning photos. It has 65% of people feeling angry, 15% sad. All contributing to the mood of the day. Today, most people remain angry. That's Rappler's newscast for today, Monday, September 23rd, 2013. Visit Rappler.com and watch your newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Ayi Makaraig, and as we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.